lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and I am going to be talking about one of my favorite things that came out this year in 2023, and that is the 1986 zine by none other than Jim Rugg. This is a zine he's been talking about for a long time, and he finally dropped it. It's amazing. I won't get too much into it because I think this is something that's kind of a nice little surprise if you don't know much going into it, other than he's like focusing on the year of 1986. But I had to talk about it. It's on my picks and my best of list for 2023, so I didn't want to not show it off. Shout out to Chris Anderson for picking this up from me from Jim in person at Heroes Con earlier this year. So really stoked to kind of show this off. And if you're not already following the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out some of the dope content we have on the channel. We drop videos daily, interviews. We got deep dives. You got short little videos like the one I'm going to do today, and a lot of indie stuff as well, big name creators, all that good stuff. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And now let's get into this 1986 zine. So I like the inside covers. Both the front and the back just has a plethora of titles that would make you just like, okay, do I have that? No, now I got to get it. Well, I am in that line of like, okay, I have some of these, but there's a lot I don't have, and now I want to get them all. I kind of want to get them all because there's no reason Jim Rugg would put these in here without a reason. There's a reason he put these in, and these are, I would imagine, the standouts, at least for him, and some of the stuff he dug. So definitely going to check some of this out. I mean, I could spend so much time on this. I love this. There's more to the medium than just two comic book companies. Go read it. And that's what he's doing here. You got so many different publishers. You got issue of Comics Journal. You got Nexus, Flaming Carrot, the World of Japanese Comics. You got a representation from First Comics. You got the Destroy, the Scott McCloud from Eclipse. You got Kamiko. You got Blackthorn. You got DC. You got Marvel. You got Turtles, you got Now Comics. I mean, just so many good things. Fantagraphics is represented there. And speaking of Fantagraphics, you got this great ad for Love and Rockets with some beautiful Gilbert Hernandez art. I just love this collage aspect almost of it. He's back, and God Help the Guilty, The Shadow by Howard Chaykin. So like he'll do little shout outs like that instead of like having the actual page, which that's what makes this book so much fun, is there's so many, I don't want to say Easter eggs, but there's so many little things you can pick out, right? Like the 10 best comics of 85. And how does he do that? He just lists them around here like that. Just really cool. Like, did he cut this out of the book and paste it? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to ask him. But, and then some great ads. You get the ad for Watchmen before it came out, the ad for Batman Year One, and I just can't imagine. Like, I've gone through a lot of old comics, and I see these ads, and I'm like, man, how exciting that would have been at that time to see this stuff coming together. Then you got the New Universe, which didn't do very well, and then you got this little ad that talks about the titles that will be in the New Universe. Protostar #1, like I've never heard of this one, but definitely something I'm going to check out. You got Kitchen Sink Press, and an ad for all their stuff they put out, stuff like The Spirit and Border Worlds by Don Simpson, Milton Caniff with Steve Canyon. And then you got this Small Press Watch by Scott McCloud, where he goes through a bunch of different indie stuff that was coming out. Scout, Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters, which was, all the stuff that came out from Ninja Turtles, where everybody was trying to do their own kind of take on that. Anthropomorphic animals. We got a little article about Yummy Fur, and then where you can get it. Some of this is just sending it straight to Chester Brown with his address there. So it's pretty cool to see stuff like that. You got a little bit about Dark Knight, little snippets from that article. From we got this little thing from Amazing Heroes. You got like the cover comics interview. We got a thing out of Amazing Adventures over here. We got a little press release on the coverage for Dark Knight. Got some other little ads here. Marvel premieres Romance Line. Harvey Comics releases new titles. An Aircell ad. And then I love this page. All these great Dave Stevens covers. Amazing. And then we get, again, some other ads for other titles in here. We got this Comic-Con from 86. I think that was probably the cover for the program, if I remember correctly. We got this great article by Heidi McDonald, one of the greatest comic book press people that's ever lived. I think she does some really great articles on Comics Beat. seeing this article by her from Amazing Heroes talking about like the Kirby Awards and what she thinks about best new series and best black and white comic and all that kind of stuff. And then she says, but probably I'll get some of these wrong. Great Love and Rockets ad. We got a wrestling magazine ad. First Kingdom by Jack Katz. Pretty dope to kind of see that covered in here. Not sure what this is. If this is like a comic or a magazine. So this was kind of weird. This Transformer. I don't know what that is. We got some Akira coverage in here with the appearances in the magazines that it originally showed up in. Got all of the, anthropomorphic rip-offs, basically, from Ninja Turtles with all these, teenage new wave samurai cheerleaders, cold-blooded chameleon commandos, geriatric gangrene jujitsu gerbils. I mean, dude, it's absolutely ridiculous. But within all of it, we get this little Turtles ad, which I thought was pretty cool. Editorial by Kim Thompson. Pretty cool to see. Got this Damlog ad. We got some Silver Wolf coverage in here. The entire Comics Index and talking about how many books they were publishing. It all started out of this comic book store, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that prior to this. Great Usagi Yojimbo one-page ad, but really, a comic book. We got this these little headlines about the Elektra book by Bill Sienkiewicz and Frank Miller, which was absolutely phenomenal. Got this Big Baby by Charles Burns. A little snippet here. We got got a Matt Wagner. A little note from Matt Wagner, where you can send the letters. Talks about Grendel and Mage. Got some Elementals coverage here. Some Rick Parker talking about lettering. I love that, dude. And then we got, I never read the Nam, but kind of want to check it out now. I don't know, just something about this little solicitation, little article on it made me want to check it out. We got Blackthorn Publishing. Got all the Solson books that came out. Got a list of that. Founded in 86, defunct in 87. That's pretty nuts. Didn't even go past a year. Got a little note. First Jim Lee, the Samurai Santa. Talking about this, I never knew about either. This Rocky Balboa was in a G.I. Joe comic. They had to pull it because of Hasbro. They forced them to recall it. And then Sylvester Stallone does this guide to movie making comic. Then we get Dark Horse Presents #1, the debut of, Concrete by Paul Chadwick, Chris Warner with this Black Cross, and then just seeing these other creations, early creations of, like Boris the Bear from Dark Horse Comics. I love this. We get this Youngblood ad from Megaton Comics. This was prior to him. Obviously prior to Image, which doesn't start till 92, we get this Jim Lee, Brandon Choi. We're going to create Wild Boys, and he submitted it to Marvel and then was hired by Marvel in summer of 86. That's super interesting. Didn't know that either. We got a little snippet about McFarlane on Hulk. We got this Early Dragon by Eric Larson. We got this little article about Infinity Inc. Little profile on Eric Larson. Again, some of these are, just page ads, but, there's a lot of little snippets from magazines and stuff that Rugg put in here as well. Love this ad for Man of Steel, Wonder Woman. This is post Crisis on Infinite Earths. Seeing this coverage in LA Weekly for comics, super crazy. Started to get more notoriety. I know that the Dark Knight was covered in stuff like Rolling Stone. Get a little Lone Wolf and Cub. And just, some more great coverage of some unsung stuff that maybe is not as prevalent in the mass, that's not known as prevalent to the majority of comic book readers, maybe. There's a lot of stuff I didn't even know until recently, Chester Brown. Wasn't familiar with this stuff. Love it. We got this Yummy Fur ad. We got this ad for Mouse. Love this, dude. This comics journal. Is Dark Knight fascistic? And this ad for Destroy. We get this, Amazing Heroes #100, which was dedicated to Jack Kirby, and we get all these creators that have signed off that are, going against Marvel and want them to return his art. So that was, widely covered back then. I think, everybody was definitely on Jack Kirby's side, even doing an open letter to Marvel by Will Eisner in Comics Journal 110. Harvey Pekar appeared on the David Letterman show. Gary Panter works as designer on Pee-wee's Playhouse. So, some cool stuff there. Don Rosa turns in Scrooge Tale. Reagan's Raiders. Marvel's New Universe line, mediocre, according to many retailers. So, stuff like that. We get this Turtles Cerebus crossover. I love these ads. I got this issue of Amazing Heroes because of Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor talking about it on Cartoonist Kayfabe. So, pretty cool to see that. This ad for the first graphic novel from Turtles. Marvel being sold to New World Pictures between $40 and $50 million. That's pretty interesting. Didn't know about that. Get this Miracle Man ad. This, like, Bill Sienkiewicz. Little quote from him. Pretty cool. How to print and publish your own comic magazine. I love that he reproduced this. Shrunken down, obviously, but put that in here. Got this Small Press Comics Explosion magazine. Also pretty dope. Halo Jones by Alan Moore. And, a couple other cool ads. Lloyd Llewellyn by none other than Dan Klaus. And then we get these back issues. And I love that this is a way to list all these publishers that were around back then. Pretty crazy. And then some of the old logos that we don't see anymore that have changed or don't even exist anymore. So very cool. And again, more really dope comic books to definitely check out and be on the lookout for. I highly recommend checking all these out because some of them I have and they're great. And then some I don't have that they wouldn't be here without a reason. So if he's got some available, I highly recommend picking this up. This is a zine that you will not want to miss out on owning. It's amazing, and it pairs really well with his black and white zine, which I will talk about at a later time. I wanted to focus just on this, but it pairs really, really well with this one. So make sure you pick it up. Hit up Jim Rugg's website. He sells a lot of this stuff directly from him. You can get a lot of this stuff directly from him. And make sure, again, you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, I'm out.